Hey, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the streaming sofa. And look who I have here with me. We're back here with Voleno for what's definitely going to be the end of this Mega Man X8 saga.
Until we play it again.
No, this is it.
So you play
We're ending it
over and over until
we're closing this out. We're finally saying goodbye to this game. I can't have this game in my life anymore. I need it to be over.
Oh, you're not enjoying it.
It's not that I'm not enjoying it. It's just that.
Well, then why won't you play it again?
It's just because playing one Mega Man game for 6 weeks is a lot.
You're acting like you never turned it off. I mean, come on.
No, but it's always been in the back of my head. But it has always been.
Sessions.
It's always been there. And it's not only been 3 sessions. It's only been 3 sessions for you. It's been more for me.
Oh, right. Oh, wait, how long did it? Okay, actually, come to think of it, I didn't even ask. Did you actually get all the parts?
I may have done a little bit of work between the last stream and this stream. So for those of you who may not know, we have been playing through, I've been playing through Mega Man X8, and Voleno has been watching.
Navigating.
Sure, navigating. You'll notice I'm not going to use the word helping as the one word I'm not going to pick.
I pointed you in a direction.
He's been here.
That is navigation.
And we last stream, we got through all 8 stages, or we've wrapped up the 8 stages. And I was maybe a little dismissive of X's abilities. And Voleno may have had some choice words for me regarding the importance of actually engaging in this game's item collection rather than just dismiss one of the 3 playable characters as unfun.
It's crazy. It's like there's this mechanic since the beginning of the entire series that they've had in there where you can make X stronger over time. Yeah. It's wild. That I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, so yeah, I was surprised. I was as surprised as anybody else that they included that in this game as well. So
armor parts, wild.
So I did a little work, and I have not shown you the degree to which I have done that work. But needless to say, I don't think we're going to be at a loss for abilities.
You know what? I would almost respect it if you still didn't pick X. You did all that, and you're like, I think Axel and Zero could really take on the stage a lot easier.
Well, I will say that there is a thing that has happened, which is I have continued to grow more and more appreciative of Axel and his abilities. I talked about this when I was doing the whole Mega May thing. A real blind spot that I have on these games, and I don't know why, but I have a really difficult time with actually making use of the other weapons when it's anything other than the boss fights. Like just navigating.
What's crazy though, I've been the exact same way for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what it is about it. It's like I would always feel the need to just save every single weapon until either it's like I think it's just like a psychological thing of like every single time you know that the bosses are going to be the ones that get the most hurt by any specific weapon. Right. So you know that you need to save the weapon energy. So you just kind of run to the end where it's like, oh, well, it's time for them to feel the wrath of this weapon. Right. I guess. So it's like, but at the end though, it's like, you have 7 different weapons and you're running to like the 8th boss. You're still just saving one weapon. It's weird.
It makes no sense.
You would think
it makes no sense at all.
You would think there would be. Oh, okay. I think Axel is actually one of the only cases where I feel like I use a different weapon a lot more. And it was that Gatling gun, the ice Gatling gun. I think I used that way more when I was playing, and the bazooka.
Yeah. So what I discovered
And the ray, the gun.
Yeah. So
the
what I
ray gun
discovered
pretty
was that the ray gun and whatever, I don't remember. It's like blast shot or blast nut or whatever. It's probably not called blast nut.
I don't think it's that. That's a different game.
Whatever it is, those games are just set the game to easy mode.
Yeah.
Like in a really fascinating way. Like it's insane. Like how much I was able to just like blaze my way across the levels, picking shit up. Just hammering, just basically just launching mortars everywhere.
No, it just like it breaks everybody's shields. It just like destroys everything.
It's completely ridiculous. So I've grown to appreciate Axel. I guess from a gameplay perspective at least. And yeah, you weren't wrong. Like when it comes to actually getting X hooked up with all of his parts, it is like, oh shit, it's like a video game now, you know?
Yeah. It's like a Mega Man X game. It's crazy.
And like
eighth installment too.
It's like crazy like how strong he is. Like I have I opted for the headpiece that makes the Mega Buster charge in like half a second.
Told you.
And it's completely ridiculous. It's
so funny because I think genuinely this X8 is like the best one for X's armors and things like that. And strangely enough, I think X6 has really good armors as well. To the point of the detriment there is that you have to have the armors in order to progress the final stage. Otherwise,
the detriment there is you have to play the rest of X6.
Yeah, no, you just can't finish it. You have to have one of the ones, or you can't do a jump and you just quit the game.
Right.
That's just what happens. But either way, it's like they give you 3 different armors. They make you mix and match them, and it's awesome. I like it.
Yeah, no,
or you can just pick the whole, the entire like collection of each armor as well.
No,
I don't know if you did that or not.
I kind of just did like a mix and match of what like felt the best to play with. I don't want to go too long without saying, hey, Homac, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome back, man. Thank you for popping on over. I've got some frame-specific bullshit on Gate 1.
Yeah. I think years later, I got over my trauma and I looked up a video of how you can do that without that armored piece, and I was still not satisfied because I never would have figured out how to do that. So it was just like, it's this jump that it's like, it's an... I don't know why I'm waving my hands right now, but as you can see, like
imagine Voleno at home doing a lot of gesticulating.
Imagine I'm putting my finger up to my head or something, but it's just a complete like a hole. Like it's a hole, and then it's a wall that comes down, and so you have to like drop down under a ledge and then like do a jump over to something.
Okay.
And so you have to have either some kind of dash or something that is provided only by the armors. And so if you don't, I think it's possible that Zero can do it or something. It's really weird.
But
it's
otherwise
like
it's just like
one
an uncompletable level in the main path, in the main game path.
Main game. It's like honestly, if he had the Mega Ball, he would have been able to. I was gonna
say, Barbie 89 has a good point here. It's like just triple jump. True. Just triple jump.
It's simply triple jump.
Every Mega Man game has a triple jump.
Actually, the answer at the time, but it's just I still remember, and I'm I am thankful, very very thankful that I never got past that, because Gate is the worst boss in the entire series, other than Red in X7, which you will find out. You'll find out why. This is a giant cliffhanger, but you're gonna find out why Red sucks and I hate him.
Not only is that a giant cliffhanger, it is also a massive overpromise of what we might actually be able to accomplish in the time we're gonna have.
Oh, we're gonna do it. We're not getting up until you see Red. At least
I make no such promises. I make no such promises. Not on that show. Not on that show.
Claiming all Mega Man bosses, every single one. I think Gate is the second worst. Red is the worst. And that's
fine. I'm just making no promises that you're ever going to see that happen on this stream.
Well, I'll make you pull up a video.
Fair enough.
You know what? I'll make you pull up a video of it if we don't get to all of X7, because I know that it's going to be a time limited.
Yeah, big
section.
Big if.
I mean, obviously,
we're going to be starting 45 minutes late from the jump. That's just from the jump.
Oh yeah.
And then there'll be like this level of stalling bullshit that we always do. And then eventually it's going to be, all right, well, thanks so much for being here, Voleno. Sorry we didn't get to the game, but it's always great for you to see you. All right, coming up next, we're going to play Jenga for 6 hours.
No, I know what I'm going to do. If you don't get to it, I'm just going to be also playing the game on the side, and then you can just put X7 gameplay in the corner of whatever other segment
Absolutely.
You're doing.
Yes.
And
yes. We should definitely
just be there.
Just have picture in picture of your stream.
Yeah. I'll just provide the X7 gameplay for that portion.
Honestly, that would be hilarious. We've done stuff like that in the past where we've had like a thing running in the background.
Yeah,
that we could just come in and check in on.
People
exactly.
Who don't really care about what you're doing.
And like every half hour to an hour, we'll do the X7 check-in with Voleno. And I'll throw it over to you. We'll see where you're at.
Yeah. And then I'll just pull up different games as a and then it's just like, oh, he's playing Honey Pop now. Oh, we're gonna get banned. Oh,
that's weird. Oh, the feed cut out. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, how'd that happen?
Well, we'll see if I can get him back, but I'm gonna have to wait another 16 hours before I try. So, well.
You heard Red.
Oh, geez.
You heard Red, Raven. you know about Red.
There's something that's been very interesting about this experience, about specifically playing this game with you, is for me, all of this is first time, right? Like I am playing through this game for the first time ever. I played maybe 20 minutes of it like years ago and just like, oh, this sucks just like X7 does. And that was it. Now, every time we do one of these streams, you bring your whole gaggle with you, and it's like everyone is like trauma dumping about their experiences with this game and with various other Mega Man bosses. And I'm like a guest on my own channel.
Well, it's just like, okay, I 100% understand why you weren't super giddy about X5. I get that. I still think X5 is a decent game.
Sure.
But I wouldn't have done this with you because I think you would probably think it was a decent game too. You know, it is what it is. But the reason why I find X8 way more interesting than X5 is because I think it's genuinely some of the best that the series has to offer. Because, and I'm not trying to be mean here, but I think nobody really remembers X2 specifically. I think there's people who remember X3, but genuinely,
I would have been willing to throw them in the same group as X2 to be totally honest. Well, I feel like it goes like X to X4.
The reason I think people remember X3 is because Zero was also playable in it, and there's obviously fans of Zero.
Sure,
but usually if people like the X series, they like X and they like X4. That's usually it. And then they know about what happened with X7. X7 is like an incident on the entire series. And so
it's the Chernobyl of the Mega Man series.
Yeah, I knew that there would have been people genuinely who were so off put by X7 that they were like, all right, X8 must also be trash. I actually genuinely understand that perspective, but it's not.
I mean, that's you're talking to the guy who felt that way exactly.
Yeah. And I'm glad that it seems like you think differently, at least now.
I
like
do
after
for
going through it.
Yeah, for the most part. I still think that there are some. I think that the rough edges in this game are pretty rough. If I'm being totally honest, obviously, like there was that stage. Is like woof. Even though I didn't find it like as challenging as maybe I was kind of like led to believe, it still was not good. I wouldn't call it fun.
Yeah.
And there are definitely still, I still feel that there are some weirdnesses that are just inherent to the 2.5 3D polygonal gameplay when trying to do like a 2D action platformer. Doing it with these kind of graphics, I think, does not lend itself to feeling like very like responsive, or hitboxes can feel weird at times. Like I think that, but I don't necessarily, but that's not a thing. Again, I don't really lay that at the feet of Capcom or this game specifically. That's kind of how I feel about this style of game kind of as a whole, you know? So
I'm sure there's Castlevania fans who probably have arguments about like the gameplay between 3D representations of it.
Totally.
All that.
Totally.
And,
yes.
It happened to a lot of different series. And don't even get me started on Sonic. No, that is not a series that I personally play, but boy, have I seen a lot of 3D Sonic games, and
they're all bad.
Definitely,
they're all bad. I'm happy. I'm happy to. I will die on this hill. There are no good 3D Sonic games, and I'm looking at you, Adventure. I'm looking at you, Adventure.
I hear apologists for
you liked Adventure because you were a kid. You liked it because you were a kid.
That's kind of a thing that I definitely hear, certainly, but personally,
and I know people are going to be like, well, which one did you play? I'm going to say DX, and you're like, well, DX had a bunch of bugs, and it's like it's still the basic. Man, there I could go on a whole thing.
I'm sure you could.
The basic process of controlling. Like, it's fine. Yeah, you make your point.
Yeah, no, I genuinely, my point is,
I'm here as a guest.
I can tell. I can tell where this is going. And you're gonna be torching a lot of people here, and that's fine. But personally, I think Freedom Planet is the best Sonic game. Go.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. I've not actually played a lot of it, but I know that a lot of people hold it in pretty high esteem. I think that's totally fine. And
honestly, no, you know what? No, it's not the best one. Freedom Planet is the second best Sonic game, and the best Sonic game is Jazz Jackrabbit.
Now that I'm not so sure about.
I mean, are you sure though? Because Jazz Jackrabbit is pretty good.
I know it's pretty good, but
wait, have you played Jazz Jackrabbit 2?
No.
Okay, we've added another game.
God damn it.
You know where this is going. So after Draken. So
no, after Draken 2 specifically.
After Draken 2.
That's the one I'm playing. 2. I'm going to be on your channel being the smartass in the corner while you suffer through Draken 1.
Yes. I am willing to agree to that. But no, Jazz 2 is amazing.
I've actually never played Jazz 2. Jazz 1 I'm a little familiar with.
Jazz 1 is, but I feel like it went a little closer to mirroring Sonic while also trying to be Mega Man, and to the tune of being too fast for like how you're supposed to try and play it. Because I go back to that and I look at it and it almost makes me dizzy. It's like, it's crazy. I don't know. I don't know that I like it that much anymore. Obviously, it's one of my childhood games. I really genuinely grew up on that game, but Jazz 2 like clears it like crazy. It's so much better, and it's much more well thought out as well. It's also 2-player, so I'm just saying, we figure out some kind of way. We figure out some kind of way around that.
It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than you think. It's a lot easier to do than you think.
We could do it.
We could do it.
But no, Jazz 2 is amazing. And I do call that my favorite Sonic game.
All right. I think my favorite Sonic game was Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Actually, is it that or is it Sonic 1 on Game Gear? Because I'm kind of a I really like that one. It's one of the lesser known ones. People don't really talk about all that much. And what's funny is that the Game Gear version of that game is actually the worse version of it. It was also on what was it, Master System. And I didn't realize this, but like the Game Gear version is super zoomed in compared to the Master System.
That's weird.
But as a kid, I just learned to just be good at the game as it was.
Yeah.
But I can totally see why somebody coming at that game from the Master System version would be kind of like, this sucks ass. This is terrible. What an awful port. But it's one of my preferred Sonic games. Basically my love for the Sonic series ends pretty much at Sonic and Knuckles. You know, there's like Sonic 3 plus Knuckles, you know, like that kind of like weird dichotomy of pseudo sequel that they kind of did. And that's and it's kind of done there. Even like Sonic Mania, which is really well made, but is also way too fucking busy. Like there's so much. Have you played it? Have you tried Sonic Mania at all?
Well, the whole joke is that I've literally never played a Sonic game my entire life.
Got it. Okay.
So, not.
I've played a lot of them.
Soon.
I've played a lot of them.
Okay. Well, if you want to pick one for me to do,
I can act as navigator.
We can continue this indefinitely. I mean, it's up to you. We can keep going back to back on this.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
There's a lot of games out there. Trust me. I don't know if you knew this.
I do know this. I do know this.
I think you. Oh, Sonic 06. No.
No. You know what? If there was gonna be an 06 thing, I would want to be the one that plays it. I think.
Okay.
Not because I think it is a good game, but I kind of find Sonic 06 kind of fascinating. Because
I'm
it's
somewhat fascinated by it too.
It's so broken. It's so broken and it's so insane. And I would love to be the guy who gets to sit here and be able to say this is just like Sonic Adventure.
See, yeah, that is kind of funny though, because it's like, how are they really that different?
I personally don't think that they are. I personally don't think so.
Are they?
The
room of video games. That's amazing. You know what? Honestly, because it's like it's got this cult classic thing to it where people are very into it.
And I have actually been kind of not like hardcore following, but I'm aware of a number of like fan remakes that are in the works and have been in the works for a few years. And I actually am genuinely interested in checking them out because the idea of someone seeing that game and be kind of like, you know what, I'm going to take this game, I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to port it to PC is kind of like, well, that's kind of wild. Load times alone put 06 below Adventure.
You know what? That's
fair enough. Fair. That's totally fair. That's absolutely fair. I
forgot that was a part of the issue. I forgot load times were a thing, honestly.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Like it's weird that it's like it's so out of the
how we went through a sine wave of load times where they were never a thing, and then the PS1 comes out and it's like, what do you mean I have to wait for it to load? And then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then it got worse, and then all of a sudden load times were gone.
Yeah, gone.
They just vanished with the PS4.
I think it's like an expectation that started, like there were entire channels dedicated to comparing load times between consoles and PC, and it was just like the whole point was to show, PC load times. Ooh,
God, gaming
now
coverage
it's just
used to be so broken.
Yeah, like that whole industry of a type of video is like gone now.
Yeah,
because it's like, well, who cares? Like, oh, it's 0.1 seconds versus 0.5 seconds. Ooh,
yeah,
we've hit
such parity on like at least between like the console versions of games.
Yeah.
And then it's just kind of like this known, understood thing that like the PC version of the game is most likely going to be the best one in terms of performance and load times.
Yeah.
You know, the only time that it's ever noteworthy,
not a point to bring up.
right? The only time it's ever noteworthy now is when that's not the case.
Yeah.
When it's like, yo, the PC version of this game is fucking busted.
Yeah. Because now they just do like screwed up PC ports and they'll just like break something else. It's usually not the load time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it'll be like, yo, quest lines don't work. Or there's like crazy like micro stuttering and things like why can't this game hit 60 frames on a 4090?
Yeah.
You know,
like, the screen tearing, like all that kind of stuff now.
Turn on VSync. Just turn on VSync. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You don't need 120 frames per second, guys. You'll live. You'll live.
Why is there so much motion blur? This motion blur. It went crazy. Like the amount of problems are so different now because motion blur used to just be a thing that you dealt with on console versions. Now, like 30 FPS used to be a thing that we were like, okay, well, this game is 30 FPS on console, and we're just gonna deal with that,
right?
Because there's nothing we can do about it. And then they made a console generation where the whole point was it's 60 and then there were still games that are 30 anyway because who cares, right? Honestly.
I will say that I usually will be kind of a proponent of the kind of like 30 versus 60 argument. Like I see and understand the argument there because there is a noticeable difference between 30 and 60 depending on genre. You know, not every game needs it, but it is nice when they have it. When we start getting into like the 60 versus 120 stuff, that's when I turn off. It's kind of like once you hit 60, you're fine. And then if you're sub 30, then there's also a problem. But between those two, like it's all playable and it all works. We'll all be okay.
Well, see, now we've entered the era where they're artistically capping things at like 24 frames per second and then having everybody move in stop motion and all that.
That's a different argument though. That's a conversation about like intended art style versus that's intentional. That's fine. I'm not that if we're talking about like straight up performance, that's a totally different thing. But I'm also of the opinion of that like it's not about the amount of frames, it is about the consistency of the frames. That is the important thing. It is not about... I just don't want it going
up and down.
Exactly, yes.
If it's a 60 that's constantly dipping to 40, then I would prefer it just cap at 30.
Just cap it at 30.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, exactly. If you know the game can't reach 60, don't push it. Like, just keep it at 30. It's fine. And if it's, it's a cinematic game or whatever, then we're not going to know the difference. It's a walking sim. We're watching a movie.
Right.
Doesn't really even even inputs don't even matter at that point.
Yeah. All these tutorial sections are suggestions.
Yeah.
There's a great moment in I don't know if you ever watch Oni Plays, but there's a great moment from a long time ago where they're playing the new Lara Croft, or what was the new imagining of Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And there's a part in there where it's like an early tutorial section where they have to like walk across a log, and it's like doing like the hold your arms out for balance thing.
Yeah.
And the guy playing says, "Oh guys, check this out." And he starts rotating the control stick just in a circle. And she just walks in a straight line across.
Oh my god.
Which is like, yeah. That's the state of that's. It feels like
skill-based gameplay.
It feels like we're coming out of that too, like the kind of a little bit we're coming out of that of like kind of like the over tutorialization of things.
Yeah.
Although I did tell you,
definitely
we did talk
depends
about
on the genre.
We did talk about Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah.
About how Aloy never ever stops saying what she should do next.
They just figured out different ways to hide it, I think.
Right. Yeah.
It
was just we're going to obfuscate the tutorial sections more now.
I still think the people noticing the yellow paint thing or like the white paint is so funny.
Because
it's like it's so obvious now that somebody like consistently started pointing out where they would just put these highlighted areas in all the level design,
right,
and just clearly point you to where you're supposed to be. And I think that's okay. I honestly think it's fine.
So here's the thing, it's a video game.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's a video game.
Yeah,
like I get, oh god, like hearing people talk about like how like their immersion gets ruined by something, like that word now sounds like a slur to me. Like it's so it's so annoying, and it's so, people get so up their own ass about it. And this was just kind of like, this game had the audacity to show me a hint about where I should go next. It's like, yeah, because that's where the fucking game is. Yeah. Like at some point, you need to have information given to the players that they can play the game.
Yeah.
Can't see myself in
I
third
think
person.
Cohesion is important.
Also cannot see myself in third person with a heads-up display showing I'm exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what else I can't do? Run for more than 30 feet. You know, like there are lots of things I can't
I paused the game, immersion ruined. Immersion. Yeah. Like I stopped time, immersion busted. Like how could they even do that?
Yeah, I want to spend an hour trying to find exactly on right. Exactly. It's just like,
yeah. It's at some point you have to lead people.
Yeah, and again, and there's a line. There is certainly a line where it can tip too far in the other direction, and the game is like playing itself for you. But you know, like the ability to just know where to go next is not. Character didn't make a grunting sound when they stood up out of a chair. Honestly, 0 out of 10.
True. At this point, there's a 3 in front of both our ages.
How come Kratos can't feel the weather in his knees? This game is unrealistic.
No, it's just like, when did they go to the bathroom? That's a great one.
Yeah.
You want to see that?
I bet you're that motherfucker sitting at the D&D table complaining about your carrying limit, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, when do we eat? When do we roll for like various like survival checks and everything? It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
There's a reason they don't put fucking Indiana Jones taking a shit in the middle of The Last Crusade. Like, it's not important to the story. It's like there's no story in the bathroom. No, and if there is, just like, you're probably watching immersion. If there's a story in the bathroom, you're probably watching like the 8th Mission Impossible movie or something. My favorite actor is Tom Hanks, so to see someone have a really good
yeah. I don't know. It's like, if people really want immersion, most of the time they can just watch movies. If they really want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll for who cares?
Roll for fucks like, to give.
Mm-hmm.
There's what's funny is like, cause I love movies. I'm a big like film snob for sure. Like I love like art house stuff and I love weird shit. I will go see every A24 thing, not because I think it's all going to be amazing, but because I know it's just going to be like unique, you know, like it'll be like the art that someone wanted to make.
Yep.
Kind of a thing. And even then it's like, I can become immersed in a story because that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
Not because I needed them to trick me into forgetting that I'm sitting in a movie theater with 2 17-year-olds in the corner who won't shut the fuck up and keep checking their email or their tech email. That's how old I am. Stop checking your damn emails, you stupid kids.
They're trying to see if their PDA beeped or not.
Yeah, they're checking their Google Maps timeline for where they've been in the last month.
Yeah, trying to see if anything having to do with their flip phone somehow chirped at them.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I want games to be fun, you know, like sue me. I thought this was America.
Honestly, wild take, I think.
Yeah, I don't mean to get that. My 2 hottest takes today have been there are no good 3D Sonic games and video games should be fun. And those points are directly related.
What if games were fun?
What if games were fun?
Let's find out.
Guys, so
by firing one up right now.
By firing up the most fun video game either of us could think of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
if
you have Draken installed.
Yep, I have Draken ready to rock and roll. Speaking of games playing themselves, here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna jump into the end of Mega Man X8 here. I've told Voleno I have not looked ahead. I don't know what is waiting. So this is all gonna be brand new to me. And I think Voleno, you said you were gonna play some game in the background on your own, and just kind of check in every.
Like that.
All right. But before we do, huh?
Nothing.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll pull up the navigation.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah, you get your navigation hooked up. Before we do that, though, so I did a little bit of work between last stream and this stream because, and again, and I'm going to say that this is kind of in like the minus column for this game. This game requires a certain amount of grinding in order to kind of get a lot of like bonus items and stuff like that. So I did some work between last stream and this one. However, I did not know that we were going to miss a cutscene doing that. And I want to make sure that we don't miss any of that because there are precious few cutscenes in the game in the first place. So we are going to fire up someone else's long play video that they put on YouTube and watch the cutscene that'll then guide us into the rest of the game here. So I am going to say goodbye to the tunes and switch over the audio so that our navigator can hear it as well.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness indeed. All right. And let's check out where we left off in the story of Mega Man X8. So this is the cutscene that plays right after going back to the stage select screen, having beaten all of the 8 Mavericks.
There's no doubt in my mind now. This whole incident has Sigma written all over it. Where is he anyway?
It's obvious that Sigma's involved, but things are bound to be different this time. It doesn't seem as if he's controlling these new Mavericks like puppets. They all seem to be him.
Do you mean copies of Sigma?
I'm not sure. So far, all the sites attacked have been related to the Jacob project. Huh? I'm picking up a transmission.
Oh. More shocked faces.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm actually so shocked they didn't do the
Yeah. We're the anime grunts.
But yeah.
Sigma.
Long time no see, X.
Sigma
You just don't know when to quit, do you?
Don't worry, X. It'll all be over soon and we'll never have to meet again.
Oh, cool.
All
So he's
the
just going to take
previous
off.
Space development of your world now belongs to me.
What? Space?
That's right. Our future lies in the sky. Your old world has outlived its usefulness.
Oh, Zero woke
Maverick
up.
Scum. What's your scheme this time?
Scheme? This is Providence. I'm merely ushering evolution along its natural path.
This is Rhode Island.
Evolution?
Evolution.
So Sigma was really after the Jacob project all along?
Jacob project.
If you stop to think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Metal Gear.
Space development and the emergence of new generation Reploids aren't unrelated.
So, he's causing these new generation Reploids to go Maverick, huh? We can't let him get away with this.
Sigma's transmission was disrupted by the orbit of the satellite. This is lucky. The
You didn't hang
elevator is
up on
still
us?
functional, so we can use it to get to him.
What, he wanted to talk more?
Yeah. All right.
All right. And now we go over to.
And the rest of that is not my gameplay.
But you do have the Hermes armor.
I might. Oh, I have the Hermes armor.
I sure hope you do.
By the way, before we get into it, Zero's delivery of what space reminded me of one of the hardest times I have laughed at a movie that was not a comedy, which was Batman v Superman. There's have you had the pleasure?
No, I have not seen it.
Okay. I'm gonna spoil something for you. Too bad.
I've already. I've heard every spoiler about that stupid movie.
There is a point towards the end of that movie where Superman flies, like grabs, I think it's supposed to be Doomsday or something, flies into him, grabs him, and starts carrying him like up, like flying up. And there are multiple shots in a row of him, of like literally seeing him like flying up, like past the stratosphere, from like Batman and Wonder Woman's perspective, watching them like fly up until they're out of distance. Then we cut to the military room where they're like watching, where like the president and whoever is like watching this stuff. And there is a radar with like a little blip thing showing how they are leaving Earth's atmosphere. And it's like, it's very obvious what's happening. And then they cut to a character who goes, "It looks like he's taking him to space." I saw that movie with two of my friends at a midnight viewing, front row of the theater, and we were kicking in our chair. Like, just the delivery of that, like one of the most unnecessary lines of dialogue delivered in the best way imaginable. That movie's amazing for all the best reasons.
Yeah. I mean, you could say all the wrong, but it's like, it's just silly.
That movie was hot garbage, but Wonder Woman's theme. Yes, I agree. Wonder Woman's theme kicks ass. It's terrific. Speaking of terrific things that kick ass, here's a video game.
Oh, which one?
This one. Black screen the video game.
Tracking?
It's not tracking. I do apologize.
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll get to it. Eventually, we'll get to every video game.
Mm-hmm. Because that is the point of this channel, after all.
That is the point of this channel. Yeah. It's
backlog.
Yeah. You get exclamation point backlog, you'll see that I'm going to be playing every video game. Yep. Unfortunately, Homac, it is not the Scooby-Doo Genesis game. Homac was in here the other night. Tune me into the existence of a Scooby-Doo Genesis game, which is genuinely one of the most gorgeous looking games I've ever seen. It is beautifully animated. Like the art in it is fantastic, and it's on Genesis of all things. It's crazy how good the game looks. But it's like a Sam and Max or King's Quest style, like point and click, like look use type thing. Let's see. Dord X 4 through 6 can never get into 3D ones. The voice acting on 7 was crazy. So if you head to my YouTube channel, you can actually see part 1 of this collab that we've been doing. And we actually played the first 30 minutes or so of X7 just to kind of set the stage for what we were improving with X8.
Yep. It was a big old foreshadow that I had to do. It wasn't necessary, but frankly, I just felt like it was appropriate to show you.
Oh, it's very appropriate. Yeah.
What you were missing,
What's going on?
To make you to miss, what regular games felt like.
Yes. All right. So you might see here there are a few more icons filled in on the save file.
Oh.
Indicating
so you got the other Zero weapons too.
But I have done some collection.
Mm-hmm. That's 81%.
That's 81% of the game.
That's like 50% more than you were gonna do.
And speaking of percentages, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100, 100. I have done my work.
Wow.
I did my work. I went and I bought damn near everything for everybody except for the things that cost like 13,000 or 18,000 chips, because that's a lot. But I got all of everybody's stuff that could be done in a reasonable amount of time. I looked up where to farm chips, so I spent a lot of time shooting a laser at a big construction robot and just stood in a corner and just watched things rack up. I went through and did everything, and I am particularly proud of this. I went through and did the whole like challenge stages and everything, and got full clears on them, and then found out that you need to intentionally fail at least one of them to get the second secret ship, because this game's bullshit. So I did all of it. I did everything. I have never been more prepared to go into the final act of a video game.
Oh, wow. You know what? I'm proud.
So whatever happens from this point forward is the game's fault, not mine.
Okay. Well, I mean, that is true. Like, if you have all of this prep done and you still take hours and hours to do this, well, that's just really on you at that point. But no, I you know what? All I really expected from you for this week was the X armors.
Yeah.
So I was not even really thinking about the fact that you hadn't gotten the 0 weapons either. So,
and that was going to be my intention, was just to do that. And then as I was going through them, it was like, well, I can grab all this other stuff while I'm doing these other things anyway. So I might as well. Well, if I'm going to do all that, then I might as well just actually like buy and equip the shit, because why else am I doing all the work?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so I've spent some time with this game.
So you're going in with the absolute fullest experience of what somebody who normally would be playing the game, liked the game,
Right.
would be doing.
And was emotionally invested in it. Absolutely.
Mhm. So what did you end up putting on X?
So I have the head part that increases the charge speed.
Mm-hmm.
I have the damage halving body part, because this one, it kind of seemed like I would rather have whichever tax they consider to be like would be invincible.
Like minimal enough.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, this doesn't seem to really doing much at all. I'd rather just have 50% damage across the board.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went with that. This was, I think I actually want to keep it on the 3-way because the large beam just takes a really, really long time to get out of.
Oh yeah, it just roots them in place.
It just sticks them there.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think I kind of, well, so these were the last part that I grabbed.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not really figured out which one I prefer, although I do think that jumping higher is better because I can always do more like dashing stuff with Axel if I need to.
True, yeah.
So this is kind of my layout.
Okay.
It's a real mishmash.
Mm-hmm. And so you didn't get the ultimate armor, did you?
I did not get the ultimate armor. I don't know how to do that.
I think that's a new Game Plus thing, actually.
So I think I've done everything that I can.
Yeah.
In just new game prime.
New game 0.
Game 0. New game -1.
Mm-hmm.
I also played with Palette actually as navigator, so that she could clue me into when I was actually near hidden stuff.
Yep. It's almost as if the navigation is actually useful.
Yeah.
But
no, so it turns out, funny thing, it turns out that if you play the game with the stuff that the game has given you to play with, it's a way better experience. Rather than turning off everything and ignoring all of the other pick-upable items.
Coulda told you that. But no, I love this song too.
You turn it up a little bit.
Oh wow, look at how little damage you took.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's almost like the items that are in the shop that you're able to unlock are.
Yeah, and I can shoot. I can shoot all of his weapons infinitely. Mm-hmm. I never ever run out of energy. Look at this. Look at these guys just like running in and dying immediately.
Yep.
I never even played the stage before, and I'm already killing it.
Yep. Okay, well that's. I mean, yeah, you know. That's the only limitation of that weapon, pretty much. Is like you can't break anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just kind of hilarious. Because then you just have the armor break weapon. Anyway, loving this X gameplay. Keep going.
Yep. I've really come to appreciate X. He's really good. I mean, honestly, in a vertical stage, I would rather have Axel.
Yeah, of course. It's Contra rules with Axel.
Yeah.
You know? So, fair enough.
Oh, I have the combo extender also, so now I can just really rack up those end of stage rankings that definitely matter.
By the way, could you take that? And
no, I could take this. Not so much. Not so much about taking that though.
Could you eat this?
You know, given the option, I think I will actually just take that. If the choices are eat this and take that, I think I'm going to go with that rather.
Mega high. Who is that?
I'm actually not sure. I don't think he's supposed to be here. Also, I will say I did not get very good at figuring out how to deal with these guys.
Oh, yeah, I can tell.
They're kind of a pain in the ass.
Hey, maybe you could ask your navigator about that.
Yeah, hey Navigator, what do you do about the guys with shields?
Do I look like Leia to you? You didn't pick any navigation.
I picked pallet.
No, you didn't.
I absolutely did.
No, you didn't.
She talked to us at the beginning of the stage. Don't gaslight me in my own stream.
I completely tuned her out.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah, of course you did, because you're too busy probably playing Arknights or some other strategy shit that I don't understand in the background.
Heard of that game?
That's you were late to this stream because you were playing it. I will out you so fast.
That is not even humanly possible that you suggested. I was late because I was watching Mouse's stream. That has nothing to do with Arknights.
Oh, it's the top now. Good luck up there.
Yeah, that sounded exactly like her.
Yeah, I've also been really working on my voice work.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, it looks like this elevator is taking us to space.
What? Space?
Oh, I'm wondering if I should have come up with the other charger instead.
Did you forget about him?
Oh, yeah. So I actually ran into him several times when going by through stages, and apparently there's a whole thing with that.
You're struggling awfully hard for a world that's doomed.
Okay.
So,
Talking to the
pulling the strings
world
the whole
leaders here.
time, wasn't it, Vile?
You finally piece it together, X? The orbital elevator, the energy, the space minerals, the rocket data. The route to space, the thing that's allowed this world to survive this long, is ours.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, please. Is it going to be explaining
Vile
what the
has
hell they're
never
talking
been
about?
cool. Vile has never been cool. I'm just going to say it right now. Vile has never been cool. He's never started to be cool. He's never tried to be cool. He's never been cool.
I would
So,
argue.
like,
I would argue that he's very much trying to be cool in this moment.
Okay.
I wouldn't say succeeding.
Yeah. But it's just like, who is he for?
Edgelords. I don't know. Like everybody else, all the other nerds who were into this series when it came out. You.
Okay, Homac, that's a good point. But I thought he was a big hindrance to play in the X1 remake. But I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Boba Fett
Maverick
fans.
Hunter X is a whole other like game that was a remake of
Right.
X1 on PSP.
Right.
And oh yeah, no, you know what? You're right, Boba Fett fans. But I've also never understood them either because like he got a whole series and nobody gave a shit. So it's so weird.
I've never understood
like,
Boba Fett fans either.
I've never understood it.
He has a combined screen time of I think around 96 seconds.
Django was cooler and he had less screen time. Like it's
Now that's a take. That's a take.
It's weird. I actually, you know what it is? I think it's that Mandalorians have always been cool in the Star Wars series.
Sure.
So they were later finally able to capitalize on that by making a series called The Mandalorian.
Right.
And then they made it into a space western, and they ruined it with a little green guy that people got a little too obsessed with. And then the series ceased in relevance because
we can't do this. We can't.
All right.
We can't
No,
devolve.
we can.
We can't. Well, yes, of course we can. Of course we can. But we're gonna have to do a fourth stream of this fucking game. We gotta get through this. We cannot devolve into Star
but
Wars.
That's on the screen.
Oh
So
my
like,
God,
what am I supposed to do right
okay,
now?
well, I'll kill him real fast.
Okay, kill him.
Stop doing no matter what.
Yeah, he's talking about our conversation, I think.
Everything cool about him was added after the fact by Mandalorians in Knights of the Old Republic. Huh. I have not played Knights of the Old Republic yet.
You're fine.
That is actually something I want to get into at some point. Okay, give it to me straight though. Is the gameplay any good?
About KOTOR or this?
KOTOR.
Okay, so here's the thing.
I've never heard anyone talk about the gameplay.
I have not played through it myself. I encountered it very briefly once when I was, let's say, maybe a little less mature and was not interested in games of its kind.
Right. That's fair.
So I cannot say for certain
So
whether
it
the
wasn't your
gameplay is
jam.
good or not.
Yeah. It wasn't your jam at the time.
No.
Much like X8 was not your jam at the time. What is he doing? Like, what is this?
It's what it is an
Like,
annoying.
who told him he could do this?
What it is an annoying attack
Like-
pattern.
What is his theming? When has he ever been?
It doesn't matter. He's
electrified
dead. It doesn't
by-
matter. He's dead. It doesn't matter. He's dead.
Okay. Did he also beat the bosses and get that? Like, what happened?
Why was that the only thing at the top of this elevator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, J-Dub has it right. It is like it's like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. It's kind of like the precursor to like that style of game.
Interesting.
And it wasn't
So
until
it would
like
take me forever to play.
yeah, it wasn't until like Mass Effect came out where I was like, oh, I'm really into this. But KOTOR was very much kind
I've
of
never
like.
played Mass Effect.
Whereas-
Mass Effect. Sorry.
Oh, have you not?
No.
You
Never.
can start with 2.
Oh,
I
interesting.
recommend starting with 2, only because the first one is very obviously is like a pioneer for sure.
Is it self-contained enough where you don't really need the story
I
of
think
that
so. I think so. They do enough stuff in like the prologue of Mass Effect 2 to kind of like you can kind of like speed your way through some selections.
Yeah.
But it's also just from a gameplay perspective, not even like a gameplay loop perspective. Mass Effect 1 has a lot of busy work and a lot of very like kind of like unrefined like gun combat and stuff like that. The Legendary Edition is better, but it is a much slower game than 2 is.
So
And I think 2 is way
one of
more
those-
engaging across the board.
Okay.
They
Is it one of
figured
those
it out.
cases like where people tell you to play Witcher 3 and just ignore the first 2?
Not as severe as that. I think the first Mass Effect is still totally playable, and you can still have a lot of fun with it. I'm just saying they figured it out with 2.
Yeah.
2 is better, but I think 1 makes 2 better. I think that's a totally fair way to put it. In the case of the Witcher games, like The Witcher 1 is such an insanely weird, like old PC game.
Yeah.
That feels like it's being held together with sticky tape and blue tack. And 2 is like a little bit of a step in a better direction. 3 makes it an actual like, okay, this is 3 is, if nothing else, it is a more like modern playable action RPG.
Yeah.
Compared to the other
I could
ones.
see that.
Like 1 is like that weird. There's such a weird generation of PC games that are like that and like Omicron and Nomad and like these weird games that are like they're these third person adventure games but with extremely complicated inventory systems and it all feels like very unrefined and it's all very it just feels they all look like the fake game that they show in like an episode of CSI. You know, like they all have that energy about them.
Yeah.
And it is a generation of PC gaming that I missed out on entirely. Like
there was a game that I was watching somebody play the other day. I think Giga was playing it or something. And it was a remake of Gauntlet. And I had never heard of that game.
like the original like arcade game Gauntlet.
Yeah, it was a remake of that game.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that came out
I swear to you,
consoles ago.
if you look at that game, that is the fakest looking game I've ever seen.
It is. It absolutely.
It looks like somebody's idea of what you would like. This is what video games are, and they would just like show 3 seconds of it in an episode of something.
It looks like if someone described the original Gauntlet to somebody, and then they transcribed that into modern graphics.
And you know what? I think it's really cool for that because it's like I've always wanted to play that game, and that looks like that game to me. It's like every single time they'll have like a serial killer or something who's like, oh, he used to play video games, and they'll show his screen for a second, and it's like just that. It's just that on the
It's
screen.
just that.
Yeah,
They
because they just couldn't get the license to show
a shot
World
of his
Warcraft.
fingers moving on a controller as no one has ever played a video game before.
Mhm. Yeah, they're just like waving wildly.
Homac, Homac, I will say I have done the exact same. I have I've gotten every single Riddler trophy, and I think all 3 of the Arkham games. And it became less and less fun to do so.
Wait,
across
is that just
trilogy.
like collecting data logs practically?
Yes and no. The Riddler trophies actually have like actual puzzles set to them, and in some cases are kind of like the only real meaningful way you engage with a lot of like the gadgets and stuff you unlock in those games. Arkham Asylum I still feel is the best. I feel Arkham Asylum is the best experience out of all 3 of those original guys. Like I'm not counting Origins or whatever because that was like a whole different studio, but Asylum is such a good self-contained Batroid. I was gonna say Batman themed Metroidvania, but I guess calling it a Batroid works.
Batroid.
It is so good at just like, here is just this one experience and that's all there is to it, and you just play through it. Whereas once you get into City is really, really good, but making it an open world like kind of, you know, like immediately makes it a little more like complicated and feel maybe a little disjointed. And then Night leans even harder into that, where it's just like, I'm not even taking in any story at this point. I am just completing a series of tasks. You know, like it is, you feel like you are a passive observer in the story, and by the time you get to Arkham Knight, because there's just so much open world shit to do. It's very fun. It's still fun to play, but I think if you want like the core experience of it, like the first Asylum game is where it's at.
I will say, I've had to take some time to understand something about myself, and I think I just genuinely do not like open world games. Like, any of them. As the more open world it gets, the less I like it. That's just how it is now.
I think that's totally fine. I understand that impulse completely.
I want to get in and play a session of something that I want to do in a game, and then I want to leave.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's easier when it is a on the rails story section of something. I would much prefer to just get into that, play that, and then be on my merry way.
Yeah, and you can kind of like, hit like the end of a chapter or something and be kind of like, a good place to call it for the night.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't get stuck in this, all right, well, if I go over here, I can gather like 8 more herbs, and that'll get me like new ammo capacity so that I can go do this other quest that I forgot about 10 hours ago, so I guess I'll go do that now. Like, I understand exactly what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
when I get into open world games, it does become just like, it becomes a checklist. And there's definitely a part of my brain that is wired to do that, of just kind of like, yes, please give me a checklist of things to accomplish. I am ready to rock and roll. But
I think
I
there was
also
a part of my
understand-
game where it was wired like that.
Yeah.
Like a longer time ago when I had, more time on my hands,
Sure.
I was definitely more wired to that. Because I used to play MMOs a lot. Those are literally nothing but checklists.
That's nothing
Like,
but
that's
checklists.
it.
Yeah. That's you're watching progress bars move.
Mhm. You're getting validation out of a number going up
Yeah, exactly.
over
Listen,
a very slow amount
you
of
were
time.
talking to someone who's one of his favorite genres is idle games, so I totally get it.
Mhm.
Anyone who plays World of Warcraft but disparages Cookie Clicker is a hypocrite. Is basically where this is going.
They're the same game. Is what you're
It's the
really
same.
saying.
It's the same game. It's the same game. Cookie Clicker and Final Fantasy 14 are the same game.
It's exactly the same game. That is what is being said.
Vile. Sigma. Just like old times.
I can't get a read on his line delivery. I don't know if is he
Lucas Gilbertson really killed it for this. I think he's one of the best Zero voices ever, but sometimes it's real confusing. I feel like he didn't know who Zero was.
Yeah.
When he was delivering the lines,
So
but
for
somehow
this
he
line,
just
I want you
nailed
to deliver this line like you're angry that you're nostalgic about something.
Because it's just like I feel like he definitely looked at Zero, but I feel like they were not given the situations for what the line means.
Right. Yes. Well,
Like, he knew who Zero
how
was,
do you
but he-
explain this game to anybody, I suppose?
I mean, yeah, honestly, the story is somewhat just like a few disjointed scenes.
Some anime bullshit.
for the most part. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Zero? Does it remind you of the virus?
So, you heard about that?
Oh God, they fired up the dramatic music.
He tried to use me to destroy the world. That's why I've got to find him and turn him into a pile of molten scrap.
Okay.
Be my navigator. Help me find that maverick before he fulfills his plan.
Well, I think we're still gonna stick with palette.
I mean, I don't know that there's any secrets in here, but it is interesting how angry he got about that, because that's probably been a few years now since that happened. It sort of feels like this game's story kind of happened after X5 or something to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, especially for her to like
seem
specifically talk about like the virus thing is like.
Yeah, because they obviously X5 was the one with the virus in it the most, and then obviously anything to do with Axel, like they acknowledge that, but they don't really talk about Red Alert all that much.
Sure.
What is this? What's happening here? Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't know.
The thing we were talking about.
Yeah, the video
Load
games.
There's
Oh.
definitely something must be Sigma.
This is not the music I was expecting to hear.
We're in space.
It's the space music.
Hello.
It's the slow, folksy space music.
It's a space station.
What the? Hey, video game. Hey, video game. What's up with this?
What are you doing?
What's up with this? What's up with this perspective thing that you can't figure out, huh?
What? No, that's a you problem right there.
Yeah, that was not a me problem at all. Oh, we're just straight up into the refights, huh?
Yeah, we are.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember who the weakness was for this?
I sure don't.
Me either. Good
Great.
luck.
We're gonna do what we're just gonna roll through them.
Yeah. Could be anything. Oh,
I
guess
got
it's
it. It's the fire. It's the slow-moving fireball. Wow, I took a lot of damage.
not. Yeah, you sure did. That was a cut in half damage too. Wait, what is his fire one? Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, can you charge that?
Oh,
I think
I think I charged it all the way.
Oh. So had you experimented with charging the weapons yet?
Not too much, no. The only one that I really did was the whatever the weird like crystal tower thing is. Ah, shit.
Oh, lasered him. But yeah, as you can see,
It's interesting.
yeah, thematic with the game as it's going at the moment. These are
Oh, I do not
merely
get any,
people copying.
I don't get
the
any health
bosses.
back. This is gonna be a problem.
Yeah, that's what your sub tanks are for.
Yeah. All right. I
mean,
remember
I'm sure you got those.
I remember Panda being kind of like a real damage monster the first time I played him. These jumps suck.
Don't tell me this is the part you're having an issue with. Okay, this guy was a pushover. You just shoot him with whatever, right? I'm pretty sure. That's his weapon, though.
Oh, so not that one.
So probably not that.
I could not figure out how that one works. I can't tell if that was it or if it just made him angry.
I don't know either. Oh. I couldn't really tell you which weapons I had in this one, honestly. I don't really remember.
I found it.
Oh, okay.
You gotta hit him in the gooch.
Oh. He hit his arms, too.
This, by the way, is a really, really weird mechanic in this game.
What?
How you use like this weapon to like find hidden chips.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like if I had not watched a video about it, I never would have figured it out.
Oh, that's interesting. Wait, you can use that to lightning rod his
Apparently
weird
so.
attack right then. Oh. I did not know that was possible. So that's like multiple weaknesses in one. Interesting. I haven't really seen them do something like that before.
I think most people, by the time you get to the end of his stage, you just want to be done with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I was super happy at the time when that happened. I was more like, I really want to turn off this game.
Yep.
At that point, it came as a surprise that was what they wanted to do to us. Oh, yeah. I feel like there was one that, yeah, just like dropped him off the ceiling or whatever.
Man, I really don't like this weapon though. I don't understand how it works.
I don't really get what it's about either.
It's like thinks it's a homing weapon, but then it doesn't behave
I think it's
like
a homing
one.
weapon, but you just have to be really close to him for it to home or something.
Yeah, so really useful.
Yeah. Honestly, this is like way more stressful than anything else that he does. He did like a backflip into dying. That's interesting.
That's how I want to go out.
Yeah. That's the way he lived.
When I go out, I want to be able to do a thing that I was never physically able to do before that point.
Exactly.
Here I come. Help me out. Leave it to me.
It is interesting though, because I know that Zero is good in this game, but I've never really quite felt like these are fights in particular where being Zero is like a huge advantage either. I guess it's never really all that much of a huge advantage being Zero.
So I will say, kind of like another sort of like weird thing that has happened is like, it's like, oh, you can just play this game like as Axel and X, and
Yeah.
Zero kind of like loses a lot of usefulness, kind of.
Sorta, I would say. I mean,
Well, I'm sure that's
I
not
think-
true like across the board.
yeah. He obviously has his advantages for sure. It's just like I was saying, like everybody has range as a whole thing because you know, everybody's jumping around and all that. So
And I
you
do have
one person that can aim and one person who can do way more damage when
Right.
they're doing their weapons. So
And I did get Zero's big stick, whatever,
okay,
whatever that weapon is,
yeah,
which does give him quite a bit of range. But again, it's just
Yeah.
like compared to everything else, it's like I feel like I'm covered.
yeah. I still think he's pretty fun to play in this. It's just because Axel is so much better than he was in X7. It's like, okay, he's a real character now, so you can't
Right.
really just like ignore him as much. Okay, what could possibly be this guy's weakness? Do you think? Yeah, probably that.
Probably this one, probably the one that has a
I
special.
think probably that one. Yeah, he fell over.
Although it seems like when you hit him with this for the first time, they go into like some like rage state thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he doesn't really have very much more of those, it seems.
Oh, I thought I deleted him.
Oh,
I was like, wow, the charge move on that is really good.
that's crazy. Oh, he did it 3 times and he just exploded. Oh, yeah, it's
Oh
the
yeah,
snow
it's
one.
snowflakes.
Oh. Yeah, that copy wasn't that good.
It really is wild, just like how you can just blow through things when you're all powered up. It's
Yeah.
like even X4 doesn't give you this level of like fuck 'em uppity, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I told you, like, when I was saying the thing about 30 minutes of like clearing up all the loose ends, I was actually not exaggerating that much. Because I mean, I don't know if you know this, but this game has Sigma in it, so
I've heard.
gonna be the final boss. A crazy concept for a game in the X series to have Sigma as the
Have a
final
Sigma boss,
I know.
yeah.
I will say though, this obviously does not spoil anything. This is my favorite version of Sigma visually ever that they've ever done.
All right.
I think it is the coolest looking Sigma.
I'm certainly intrigued and looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Is that actually? I mean, I guess it is. I think it's doing it.
It's just, boy, what a fight!
Yeah, he's telegraphing that a lot.
He's really letting me know what's about to happen here.
Oh. Thank goodness he didn't let you know that you were about to get hit by a laser.
He also yells over
Otherwise.
here every time, so it's like.
Yeah, these really are regular enemies, huh?
Mm-hmm.
See, This is a little bit why I was kind of flippant about the idea of bringing up the weaknesses, because
it does not take very long to just cycle through and figure out.
Yeah,
and even then,
it's not really even that necessary, because I mean you're pretty much powered up enough to deal with them.
I will say a thing that I do not have figured out though is like the equivalent weapons. So like I don't know which one this is for X.
Oh,
You know, like I could probably look for the one that looks kind of like ice. This one.
yeah.
Okay.
I will say, I think because it expects you to do the charged weapons,
Whoops.
this is probably one of the more like minimalist versions of X's weapons that I've really seen. It seems like every one of them is just like a tiny little missile of some sort, where he's just not really doing all that much. But because it's so much easier to access the
Burn Rooster has nothing to offer.
no, he's trying his best to leave him alone. It is unfortunate that they get so trivialized, I guess, but I mean, at this point, it's the refights. Like everybody's
That's that's the Mega Man experience though. And like
it's the whole point.
Like
it's
power
to show you how much you've grown. You
yeah,
know?
and I will say like power to this game for maintaining that. Like that was one of the most fun parts about going through all of the other Mega Mans.
Yeah,
was like you get to these refights and you just absolutely just mop the floor with everybody. And like it's a great like little power trip move before they throw you to the fucking wolves or whatever the final boss fight is going to be.
Okay, this guy was always a little sad. Oh yeah, the D-shelled the poor guy. I think last time you just killed him with the Mega Buster, didn't you?
Getting these full charge shots off, like with that amount of speed. God, it's so broken. It's broken in such a great way.
Wild.
Here we go.
By the way, I just want to remind you.
Yep.
That you thought X was not it in this game.
I know. Listen, I started the stream admitting I was wrong about it.
This is literally one of the strongest games for X. Like
he's
in
an
the
absolute
entire series.
He has grown to become a monster. Everything he feared has come true.
Emergency.
They had to stop the whole series after this because of how strong he got. Although I guess they did Command Mission.
I wonder if we will ever see an X9.
I don't know. Has the moment passed, do you think?
I mean, maybe. But I feel like they have also had like so many like missteps like since well, I mean, hell, even like with this game's existence, you know, like they were already doing missteps with the series. Like I do wonder if there is some version where like it comes back. Will we see another proper Mega Man game? See, that I think is less likely because we just got Mega Man 11 a couple years ago and it wasn't great. It was not very good. You know,
what do you mean? The most recent Mega Man game is Mega Man X Dive on the mobile. What do you mean? That is the most recent Mega Man game.
I suppose that's correct.
It is true.
I shall allow you to call me by that name, for I am indeed Sigma.
What? Okay. What is this bison?
I'm just reading what's on the name tag,
here?
my guy.
You plan to take revenge on every Reploid? Every human? In the entire world?
Rest of quality, Mega Man 11 is one of the highest selling games in the series. Is it really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that it was like successful.
Hey, Tony,
Hi, Voleno.
do you want to know something?
I suppose I don't have a choice.
The Mega Man series, overall, the most successful series out of the entire thing was the Battle Network series.
I
Whole
completely
thing.
buy it. I
Sold
100% buy
copies,
that.
Entire franchise.
It had a whole cartoon.
Anime.
It had a whole.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's
everything.
There's a fucking lot of Battle Network.
Battle Network was
Even if it's not my thing, I get it. I understand why that would be true.
Yep. That was the golden seller of the entire thing.
You're
But-
completely mad. I'm putting a stop to this right now.
No, X, it's true. The Battle Network series is the highest selling out of the entire thing. Yeah,
There's
no,
no time for
honestly.
new Mega Man's me to remake Resident Evil. Please don't tell me that's happening. They're not doing remakes of 5 and 6, are they?
No,
That
but
can't be
do
real.
you,
They
Tony, do
wouldn't
you
dare.
understand, though, how long it has actually been since
what?
Resident Evil 5 came out?
Yeah, it was a PS3 game. That game came out when I still didn't have gray hairs in my goatee. It's like,
Well, I mean, that could have been any time. But,
just fuck off.
but, you know, I mean, that doesn't exactly narrow things down.
It absolutely
but-
does. Leave me alone.
But let me look it up. Let's see. Resident Evil.
It's gonna be
5.
like 2007, 2008, maybe.
Oh, 2009.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That is 20 years ago, if you don't know.
No,
15.
not quite.
15. But frankly, though, it's just like, do you know there were still people who had it in their conversations to say that Resident Evil 4 didn't need to be remade, though?
I mean, I've always been of the opinion that the game didn't need to be remade.
But do you think any game needs to be remade?
Well, that's a larger
is that-
conversation. We can't.
Like, am
we
I
have
asking
to.
the
We
wrong
have to stop
person?
getting distracted. We have to stop getting
Like,
distracted.
Sorry, Sigma. Sorry, Sigma. It's just waiting for us here. Put a stop to this conversation.
They already control the moon, Voleno. We're doomed.
Okay.
They're gonna remake the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That old world has decayed and rotted.
See, he agrees with. They're gonna. This is just Sigma's just Capcom.
Sigma is absolutely Capcom. We're
just
remaking
Capcom.
everything. Chippendale Rescue Rangers is now a 3D squad-based FPS.
Yeah, we got the moon in 4K now.
Before that, X, perhaps it's time for our final showdown.
Are we just jumping right into it, huh? All right.
Yep.
Rock and roll.
Told you 30 minutes.
You really weren't lying.
Okay, I'm lying a little.
I'm sure there's got to be phases,
okay,
right?
in what universe has Sigma ever had just one form?
I don't know.
Any of them? No.
I don't know. Maybe this game does something like super crazy and is like, yeah, no, you just kill him and then shoot him out of an airlock.
I mean, okay, well, this is the one time where it's like,
Oh Jesus!
obviously,
This is
this Sigma just looks like Sigma, so this is not the Sigma.
yeah. I figured when you said that it was your favorite design of him ever. It was like, is this what you're talking about?
I mean, he's literally just doing Sigma things right now. Like, come on.
Just Sigma things. Whoa! Okay.
That's crazy. Goodness, you can't lose. What, are you not used to having to like actually play and pay attention now? Because of how easy everything else was?
I mean, maybe slightly.
Oh, okay. Understandable.
Okay. There's a thing that I'm not doing,
What?
but I don't know what the answer is. Like, can I deal with this fire at all? Or are you just meant to hang out in the sky, like on the walls this whole time?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you killed him. See?
What? It wasn't him.
Yep.
But that's the plot of the game.
It's almost as if it's what the rest of the stage was.
It's almost as though they're building up to something.
Sigma. Well, yes, you can call me that. That's why he said that.
That's why he said it. This is a thing Sigma would
like,
say.
Yeah, I guess I am Sigma.
Oh, I am so close to being able to grab. Whoops.
Oh, you want to run a little
Maverick
stage
signals
right
on the
quick?
moon's surface. What is this?
I did not mean to go. I meant to save first, but no, whatever.
How can you tell?
I can sense it too. It's him.
Sigma's the moon.
So you're saying that other was a copy?
Seemed like it.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, we watched it happen.
Well, this is it. Sigma, I'm coming for you. Here we go, hunters. Let's move out.
Yay! All right, real quick though, we're gonna go back to the R&D lab so we can save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so I could just shoot that construction bot just like for like 2 seconds.
I mean, that's true.
What
You
would I
really
actually
want
get?
to.
I mean, getting X's double barrier, I feel would make him actually unstoppable.
Honestly,
I think
though?
I think
I
actually,
mean,
I think actually
you
though.
okay?
I think actually though.
So because of the fact that we know that this is like about to be over, why don't you just go ahead and do it?
Just go do it.
Why don't you show off Zero's weapons while you're at it?
Oh, whoops.
Well, wait, no, you do.
This one.
I mean, I can show off Zero's weapons, but I'm going to be playing as Axel, so
Yeah, I mean, of course. It's not exactly like it matters, of course, but
all right.
honestly, hey, he gets his own series, so you know you can sideline for this.
Yeah. He can start crying when they start releasing Axel Zero.
Yeah, what if they started making like a Mega Man X series though, like one that was about Mega Man X? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would never work.
I don't think it would.
Let's see. Okay, there we go.
I did enjoy the speed.
I will say,
It's
big,
just like
big stick is pretty fun.
gigantic. You can just like clean everything up. So yeah, you know, it's like he's not without his triumphs in this game. It's just, you know, everybody else is good too.
Yeah.
So
No,
if you-
I think point in the game's favor. By the way, kids, if you want to grind for bolts, here's how you do it.
Oh. Yeah, you know what? I feel like I do remember doing this, actually.
This is where it's like safe to do it. You can also shoot him as he's running away,
Yeah.
and that'll net you around like 3,000 per run. This
But
is
you only needed this much, so
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
you can go ahead and leave.
yeah. Okay, Jesus Christ! All right, fine. God,
I'm navigating.
so sorry. So sorry I'm finally engaging with the game, and now you're getting all
You
snippy
did this
with
for
me about
hours.
it.
Like, what? You wanted to be there? Like, come on, we got Sigma to kill.
There is something to be said about getting to the very end of
that
the
your
game
home?
and then delaying.
It's like, all right, well, I just gotta get more chips.
Yeah.
Like, we could do this all day if you really want to, but I mean, we can get 1,800 more, 18,000 more.
18,000. It would take a lot. It wouldn't. It's 18,000 times 4 because I don't have the parts for Axel and Zero. So if I really, really wanted to do that,
well, you're not going to need it for Zero. Let's be real here.
Nah,
like you're not taking it.
Zero's not coming into this fight.
I'll give it a shot.
Sigma Palace. All right, here goes the real game.
The real Mega Man X8 starts here.
Mm-hmm. The Wily stages.
Ugh.
See, I could have done that.
Yeah, that was about as useful as you've been.
Wait, hold on. How do I do this?
Huh?
Does this work? Did that do anything?
What? I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, I hit a button on my Go XLR and it didn't do anything. Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. I didn't
A button
notice
I've
that.
never hit or configured whatsoever.
Great. Well, this is the time to do it.
Wild.
in the middle of a stream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just start clicking on shit. I don't know. I'm not busy. Oh, is this the right armor for me to lose? Oh.
Nope.
So, you still refuse to give up your struggle, huh?
Who is he for?
So blind that you've somehow convinced yourself that hope remains?
As long as I'm standing, there's hope. I'll defeat both you and Sigma.
God, fucking anime dialogue. I can't. Everyone,
I will say though,
everyone just
another thing I
talks
do
in just
like.
these grand generalizations. Yeah, whatever.
A thing I do like is that this is probably the most that they've toyed with X's look while he's in armors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the look of this, like the backwards collar for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's very.
I mean,
it's very odd.
It's super. It's unique for sure.
What
like,
it looks
I've
like,
never really.
You know what it is it looks like he is wearing like an outfit from a 70s sci-fi movie.
Or like, yeah, like a trench coat or something. It's like a trench coat collar.
Mega Man
But yeah.
X has real "don't come to school tomorrow" energy in this game.
It's, you know, they play with his look a lot. Also, in I think the best that he's ever really looked is Command Mission, a game that you're never going to play.
Right.
But I think you've probably at least seen that design for X, and he has like the jet scarf thingy that's coming out of him. I like
maybe. I'd have to. I think I'd have to see it again to know for sure.
Yeah, but no, Vile's jock voice is hilarious. I do love it.
I suppose it'd be a waste to just destroy you now. Maybe I'll wait till the last possible moment and have a little fun with this.
Okay. Like,
You
why?
better watch out.
Like, why is he still here?
Oh, I can't steal his right armor.
That would be hilarious.
Just knock him off of it and immediately jump into it.
I mean, it's sort of functioning that way to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like, why is...
Vile's as
I
good in
did
the
not
right
know
armor
that.
as I am.
I actually didn't know that the laser destroyed projectiles too. That's so funny.
I don't know that it was. I think I'm just tanking a lot of it.
Oh, very possible. I don't know.
He's really terrible.
He's wasting our time.
He absolutely is.
This is not even time limited. He's wasting our time.
Oh no! He's charging up a Hadouken. What the? What? Okay.
This is an interesting stage. I mean, this is a Sigma stage.
It is,
So, like, what did you think they meant by that?
Literally a Sigma stage.
the most literal. You know that annoying moment in a game where they make a boss character into a regular enemy? That's basically
what every beat 'em up.
Yep. Except he's not even close to as effective as he is as a boss. Shit. Oh, whoa. There you go. Get a spike jump scare.
Literal jump scare.
Well, now you're prepared for that, I guess.
All right.
Good luck. Here I come.
The spikes were more effective than Sigma ever was. Why didn't everybody just turn into a ball of spikes instead?
Yeah, if they really wanted to stop me. Just turn into a bunch of one-hit kills.
Yeah. Grinding on Sigma.
Yeah,
you can
look
sort of see
yeah,
it.
look at the speed in which that camera snaps over. I was ill prepared to deal with that.
All right, I will admit that is janky. Like that's super like absolutely stage skill issue type of stuff. Also definitely expected you to take Axel type of stuff.
Yeah.
Because technically, I mean, you can do leaps of faith and then just hover and delay the inevitable. Okay. He got creative.
Leave it to me.
I guess not.
Not creative enough. Whoop.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess you may as well expect that. Oh yeah, that's right. You can dash.
Yeah, you can now.
Yeah, now you can.
Whoa! What the fuck?
That was just
I saw a shiny thing. I lost track of where I was standing. You're at the end of the
game, right? You don't really have to collect anything.
Yeah, but now I've gotten conditioned.
Yeah, true.
Oh man, okay. All right. I will try to avoid dying here now that I know that we're going to do a significant amount of backtracking.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, the Zero series is definitely pretty heavy with like nothing can really kill you because you have so many crazy shields and weapons, but so we're just gonna put a bunch of spikes everywhere so you still die anyway.
Good luck. I'll take care of it.
They had things that could save you from spikes, but they were like one-time use. I mean, kind of like this game, I guess. I guess technically you could just ignore him, huh? And what's he gonna do? Kill you?
What are you gonna do? Shoot me about it?
The only thing that you really have to worry about is the spikes, so. Everything else is kind of not as threatening. You're gonna hit your head on the spike.
Shut up. I was already aware of it. See, okay, so this is like a really good. So this is a good example of what I'm talking about like the 2.5 thing. Yeah. Is I do not know where the safe point to jump is here.
If you're really looking at that, it's really hard to tell.
Axel, Jesus Christ.
That's so funny.
I learned that trick too.
Yeah.
Extending his hover out. All right.
They knew what they were doing. Still nowhere near as hard as the gate stages, though, honestly. Not that that's something you'll ever see.
That was nowhere near as hard as any of the Wily stages, to be honest.
Yeah, really. Anyway, where do you think this is leading up to?
All right, it's the end of Sonic 3 in here.
Who could this be?
The fuck?
Maverick Hunter. It's
Told you.
good to see you again, X.
Sigma's had some work done.
Yep.
Our meeting was fated, X. Our destinies come to a head right here, right now.
Can I still call you Sigma?
The time has come to usher in a new age, and you, X, are an essential part of it. Your dedication to what you refer to as justice is what first got me thinking.
Tribute.
I realized the imperfection of this world and decided I must change it.
It really is. What is a man?
Don't blame me for your insanity, Sigma.
Great delivery. Great delivery.
Yep.
Didn't sound like a high school drama student. Don't blame me for your insanity, Sigma.
It's too late, X. The gears are in motion. There's no turning
So
back.
Metal
now.
Gear.
So many metaphors.
My children were the ones, X.
My
The new generation
children.
Reploids were the ones. My children are responsible for the development of space, mankind's life.
What? Wait, like they invented space? My children made the universe.
Children? What are you talking about?
You steal men's souls. It is exactly the Castlevania.
The Jacob
boy.
Project. The program that gave birth to the new generation Reploids.
Hey, wait a minute. Maybe this is a spoiler. Where the hell is Lumine?
Who is that?
Okay.
It was all my doing. The world that was birthed by that plan rightfully
Sigma,
belongs
you're really using the word birth a lot.
You got kind of the weird like birthing children thing going on.
now, X. You will be destroyed along with the rest of this decayed world.
I'm gonna piss on the moon.
But I mean, look at that. Cut him some slack for variety this time. Also, I think maybe.
Wow, what a good attack he has.
Yup. See, now the only issue here is like I feel like he maybe took a few lessons from Zero here. In that he's not really that hard. He's got a lot of health though.
I was just saying, it seems like he has super armor on
Yeah.
regular attacks, maybe. I could just tank it. I could just happily tank it. Man, this game's ridiculous.
I told you.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh.
Let me help.
Hey, you remember what to do.
Yeah.
Still
Oh,
remember his
no.
old attack.
Oh,
Oh, he's got some.
he's a
some
robot.
Different hula
He
hoops.
activated a firewall. It's a security measure.
He's like, ooh, I see you were jumping to avoid this.
I've learned all your moves.
Except how to just normally swing the sword in front of him. But he's doing everything but that. I'm actually pretty surprised that when he's
Oh,
making
wow.
that, ooh, he kills you.
Dang.
See,
That
that's
was a lot of damage
that's why
on
that.
one.
Ooh,
Impossible. How
well, he beat Sigma.
you
Yeah, I'm sure this is it.
destroy the old world? New age.
Blurg.
Roll credits.
Zero, when did you get here? I haven't taken you on a mission in weeks. God, the shocked faces. I love all of them. All the shocked faces are so good.
Oh, Lumine, are you okay?
Am I okay? Of course. Now that you've defeated Sigma, I suppose you're satisfied.
Well, they're
Thanks to you, the plan has gone smoothly.
really not setting this up to be a betrayal.
But Lumine, weren't you just used by Sigma?
Used? I don't think so. You see, he merely helped my plan along.
Oh, Lumine is the revolver ocelot of the whole thing.
Reploids have been awakened, and the new world is at hand.
This,
Yep.
I don't want to disparage the voice actors, but some of this dialogue just really does not work with like the tone. The new world is at hand. I sound like a 12-year-old boy. Oh, I didn't get Axel back, huh?
Nope. But yeah, now you're facing Mr. New Generation Reploid, so. He likes to copy people's attacks. This is the thing that you could have been doing with Axel the whole time.
Yeah, so they really do not explain how to use his ability ever in the game.
Did you ever use it?
I
at
had
all?
to in order to get some of the chips.
Uh-huh.
But
It's
what
not
that-
really as straightforward as like being able to turn into stuff.
No, it's really not. Because you have to like know which enemy to target.
Yeah. There's actually only one game where you can just do that directly, and that is ZX Advent.
Okay.
Straight up lets you turn into and play as the bosses in that game.
Shit. Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, you can pretty much solo this with X. I mean, what is this,
Yeah.
a Mega Man X game?
Don't need the other characters at all. I didn't mean to do that one though.
Oh, oops.
I didn't mean to do it again.
You're just standing in lasers
All right,
here.
it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Right. And by the way, obviously, there's no way that he has another form.
Yeah, he's definitely not gonna like absorb Sigma and turn into some mega bot.
Lumine,
That's a different series.
doing? Don't tell me you've gone
We all have unique ways of pronouncing your name.
Loop mine.
You don't really think that's the case, do you? That's why you can't finish me off, right? You don't have it in you.
Once again, I'm glad that they carried this through from the original Mega Man game too, where X cannot just fucking pull the trigger.
Nope.
The copy chips we new generation Reploids possess, they were derived from data from hundreds of old model Reploids. That means, of course, that Sigma was also included in the mix. Do you understand what I'm getting at here?
copy chip? Sigma? Does that
Metal
mean that
Gear?
I'll go nuts like he did?
Sorry, but prototypes like you don't have the specs to cause something like that.
What do you?
What?
Okay.
You're not even good enough to go crazy.
Oh, thank goodness. That's not what I was asking, though.
I guess that's a good thing.
Besides, was Sigma really crazy?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes. This is a boring question.
He rebelled against your world, but he had his reasons.
No, we've seen
And
Sigma
they-
crazy in like several different games.
He was literally crazy. Did you hear how much he talked about
It's the whole
birthing?
point.
Did you?
It's like, okay.
He said his
Okay,
children
Lumine.
made space.
The rest of us new Reploids could turn like that at any moment.
You're saying turn like that. You know it's different.
You are tacitly
The
endorsing.
decision to wage battle against the old world was made consciously. In other words,
Oh yeah, let's get this organ
we
music in
possess
here.
the power to go maverick at will. X, do you really have what it takes to stop us? You're merely tools of the humans. tools
I am
of
a
the
sucker
old-
for dramatic organ,
You think you can stand up to those of us
like
who have
church
evolved
organ
this far?
pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The world is changing. Therefore, it's only natural that evolution take its course. Now line up to be exterminated.
Finally, somebody. Jeez.
Don't
Could have shot him
get to you, X.
hours ago.
Yeah, during any of those monologues.
Thanks, Axel.
Enemy, ally. This issue isn't so black and white. Reploids, along with humanity, have irrevocably changed.
No, that's how you pronounce that word, huh?
The nature of their existence has also changed. You are not needed in our new world.
Well, don't get too excited.
No.
You're clipping the mic.
You can babble all you want, but we're not gonna let you get away with this.
It is funny though, because later they do kind of tackle this a bit more.
Oh
in
my
the Zero
god.
series.
Oh my god. It is
Yup.
anime. It is
Yup.
fucking anime. The story ends with you fighting God. Or some angel equivalent.
Well, I mean, he copied him. But yes, you fight Demon Sigma and then you fight Angel Lumine.
Angel Lumine.
And they briefly bring back a little bit of Axel.
Oh,
What? Oh,
I ran out. I
embarrassing.
ran out of dodge space.
Well, ooh.
Oh, for
Sorry.
real?
Sorry, my navigation was embarrassing.
Oh man. All right, that's fine.
But yeah,
this phase is kind of whatever anyway.
well, you know, he didn't really struggle with this at all. He's
Yeah.
literally just copying all the bosses you just beat effortlessly, and not even well. Like, you know, he's just kind of picking.
Like,
and
I've seen
choosing.
all these. I've seen all these attacks before. That,
Yeah,
like they're
recently.
literally not even like new approaches.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he just copies all the ultimates that they do, but slower.
Right. I am curious if his like does his weapon affinity like change as he swaps between these different, like, could I swap if I knew offhand like which these weaknesses were?
Oh, I'm not sure they got that sophisticated with it. I think you can just, you know. I don't think he's actually changing himself. He's just using the attack.
Right.
Taste destruction. It's useless. Give up now. It's useless. Give up now. Give up now.
Shit.
What's crazy is that firewall actually makes that way harder to avoid.
Yeah.
If only the other boss had thought of that. You still have a million other E-tanks. I mean, this is not going to be
Yeah.
too terrible as long as you don't, you know, jump off the edge.
I don't really have a million other E-tanks, but
Yeah, you have enough. Usually you don't need that many, right?
I don't know how many how many of my other Mega Man plays did you watch?
Yeah, true. We could be here for a while.
I may have needed a few E-tanks.
Well, at least he's not Dr. Wily, right?
Yeah.
Now that's somebody you struggle with. But yeah, I do like Lumina's theme as well. Oh. It's actually not that hard to avoid. Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh, they found it. Oh, they turned.
Oh, well, never mind.
They turned into Ikaruga.
Yeah, he's definitely doing some bullet hell kind of stuff here. A little bit.
You've made me angry. You can hear from the change in my voice tone.
Yeah, I can see why not taking the laser.
Yeah, it just leaves you too exposed.
Yeah. Oh. That is kind of tricky. See, that's like 1 million.
What is with all the super armor?
Okay, boy.
Oh, you bitch.
That's crazy. I forgot to play for it.
I love how
Actually
long
beat him.
he spends just completely invincible. That's really fun.
Well, he doesn't move around a lot, so I mean, I have to protect him somehow.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? More life tank.
You can't lose. Unless you go off the edge. What are you doing?
I wanted to see if I could make the dual attack happen.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure you could probably wait until he's like invulnerable.
You mean vulnerable?
No, invulnerable. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, well, I thought I was gonna get him when he was. Whatever.
Yeah, you got him. You got him.
What is happening now? We're phase 4.
Yep. Well, everyone else had a rage mode, right?
God damn it.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. You have to finish them dramatically.
Of course. Great death cry.
Now there it is.
The end of Final Fantasy VIII. This is not.
You may have defeated me, but it's too late to stop what's already begun.
He never changes their delivery at all. It's all one level.
I'll take on plenty more like you if that's what it takes.
You really don't have a grasp of the situation, do you? Oh well. You'll find out soon enough.
No, you need to tell us now. There's no X9.
Well.
And then, hey! Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep. He actually did it for
He
once.
finally did it.
Axel.
All it took was another friend dying needlessly.
X. Status report.
This is X.
Hey, you can walk that off.
Axel. Axel has taken damage, but he's fine.
He's totally okay. And then like they puppet his body around. I'm feeling great, guys.
Awakening. That's how Lumine described it. He said this was evolution. If he's right, then what are we doing?
You might even ask, what am I fighting for?
That would be a crazy question to have.
How many times is this cutscene gonna reset?
bet you've been thinking about what Lumine was saying a while ago.
Yeah, 10 seconds ago? Yeah, Zero, it's still in my mind.
Yeah, just becoming Sigma could hardly be called evolution.
I bet you're still worried about Axel right now, aren't you?
Anyway, X. Even if we Reploids are destined to join the scrap heap when that evolutionary step does come about, we still have to fight, not only against Mavericks, but against our own destiny as well.
Wow.
So badly did I want there to be that cutscene, but I wanted them to loop the animation of them going down the elevator in complete silence.
Yeah.
And then like 30 minutes later, they have that line of dialogue and then it ends. That would be so good.
What is it with all of the X games ending on like these weird like existential, like there's no comfort in victory in any of them.
Well, I mean,
at least in the ones that I've seen the ending of, because like X4 ends the same way with like Mega Man like worrying about like the endlessness of war, and now here we are.
It's supposed to kind of end with like, I feel like, okay, maybe it's assigning cohesion that they were not exactly aware of later, but I think in hindsight it does sort of lead up to these different things happening where obviously X5 Zero's supposed to be dead,
right? Like
that was supposed to be him actually dying, and then X6 they just sort of like have him walk it off or whatever happens there, and then X7 is supposed to be him being conflicted about that thing and actually like removing himself from the battlefield to that degree,
right?
Which I do think is pretty significant, but then they just have him rejoin anyway, so it's like, well, now you just got a head start with X or with Axel and Zero, and you just get X later, so it just makes no sense. So it's just like they have him go back on it just right there. Like they, you know how Capcom usually will get bored of their main characters and have you just play as somebody else. That was supposed to be Axel. And that was supposed to be them doing that. But then obviously they're not brave enough to do that in a series called Mega Man X.
Right.
So
they're
Mega Man
they're not Kojima. They're not going to just fully toss their lead character away.
Yeah. Or they're not, you know, they've done it plenty of times. They've tried. I mean, originally within the development of Devil May Cry 4, I think they weren't going to actually have Dante in there, but then they knew that
people were not going to play it,
so they just folded the game in half and had you play Dante in the second half instead. It's like, all right, well now Dante's just going around cleaning up Nero's mess. So it's just like Capcom will do these things of thinking that they're going to have you play as somebody else and then just having that character in the background so significant that it doesn't matter that they did that.
Right.
So, you know, this was that was supposed to be what X7 was. And then X8 is just them kind of going back again to where
oh, he died. Capcom got to him. Capcom found him. They've took him out. Hey.
All right, cliffhanger.
Okay. All right. Real quick. Don't turn any of your stuff back on. I'll switch back because I don't know what OBS is going to throw at you.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Well, none of my cameras are pointed at my face, so don't worry.
Okay, all right.
Very interesting though. I missed the twist ending.
That was
what am I supposed to be sharing with you again?
your model, your face.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Your rabbitness.
There we go.
That was so crazy for you to be talking about how it's like, yes, like this character is like just like only exists in the background, and they're not brave enough to remove him completely, and then you just vanished out of the
That's a crazy coincidence there.
There he is.
Okay,
we got him. All right, I'll switch it back over to the game again real quick here.
Mm-hmm. But yes, of course, on that note, it's like all of the issues with Capcom and their side characters taking over and all that. It's just I don't know. I'm not too sure what they were going for with this particular ending, but it is something that they do touch on later. And but it's in the Zero series.
Sure.
So for, years and years after this all came to the Elf Wars and whatever, all of that, the aftermath of that is the Zero series. And then they get further into that because Reploids have essentially changed to where they're so close to humans that it's hard to tell the difference anymore. And that's sort of like the basis of how things are in the Zero series. So
the Mega Man games basically run a straight line into Blade Runner, is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
all right,
pretty much. And then there's like a whole thing with like a orbital colony and all that crazy stuff in 04, and it's like, so they go back to the whole orbital idea, getting off the moon thing again with a space colony in 4. It just kind of, and then there's elves for some reason.
What the?
It goes places. It goes places.
You know what?
But
after all this, I stand by my original position. This series should have ended at X4.
You know what? Perfectly fine of a thing to think, but
it got too crazy.
I do think it's recommending the Zero series is a little shaky in my brain sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's a big ask at times.
I do.
Where it's like, there's so much to it.
Yeah.
And you're definitely only playing as Zero. You don't have the X and Axel excuse here.
I do know for sure that I picked up one of the Zero games thinking that it was going to be just another one of the Mega Man type games.
Nope.
And it really, really wasn't. And
Zero 1 is also completely different.
And so I really, really did not play the rest of those games.
Yeah. And I don't even fault you for that, because it's like, it's certainly an adjustment to make. Also, I think to play as the operators, you have to load your save and stuff.
I did, but I think we have to go through
okay.
the actual the intro stage first here.
Yeah.
Because I am curious to see, just at least get a glimpse of what they're all about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! But now I'm playing as X without any of his upgrades, and he sucks.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Also, whatever you're sharing to me seems to have not.
Did it break on your end?
Itself? Yeah, it break.
All
I don't know why.
Well, I will stop it and then start it again.
Okay.
How's that?
Beats me.
What do you mean beats? Do you see it?
Can't see
did it
anything.
update? Did it update or no?
No. Okay, now I can see it.
Now you can see it. Okay. God damn it. What? It's always got to be a two-step process with you.
No. Couldn't tell you.
Are the lights working? I don't know. It's too dark to tell.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I think This seems like extended HP, so you know. I think it is your loaded save. All that.
Oh no, it is. Yeah, it's all the. I have all the stuff.
Yeah, it's just you weren't able to put on the armor for the intro stage.
Aelia, I got a sample.
Axel, can you hear me? My analysis is
I also don't feel like it's as I don't know. Maybe you do Mega Man next year with Mega Man Zero series as your target.
I mean, no.
I mean, it's an idea. just a pitch, I think.
My plan for Mega Man next year is to do X1 through 3.
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And then the Game Boy ones.
That is a bad idea.
Yeah, because those, I actually literally last night on my own played a little bit of the first Mega Man on Game Boy, and it is rough. It is a rough time.
Heard great things.
Yeah,
about them.
I've heard expensive things about them, but not great things about them.
And then, I mean, have you played Mega Man Extreme?
Axel, pick up the pace.
Maybe.
I don't think you have. Not if you took that long.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I would know.
Yeah. It was another like Game Boy type thing, I think. But it was just for the X series. I never played those, and they're not on the collection, so I didn't really go out of my way to try and beat them or anything.
Oh, I don't have any
obviously,
Zero's
you know,
moves.
you gotta play Mega Man Soccer.
I'd probably play.
No,
I'd probably
Mega
play
Man Base. No, you should actually play that one though.
of soccer.
No, Mega Man and Base.
Oh, Mega Man and Base is actually on. That's on the backlog officially.
Yeah,
because I had
gotta
that one
play
and
that
never, I never finished it.
Because it's I think I'm not sure canonically if it's between 7 and 8, but I think gameplay wise it's sort of between 7 and 8.
Yeah,
kinda. So it's not going to be as teeth pulling as playing Mega Man 7 was. I hope. But
yeah, I mean, I will say like 7, Mega Man and Base, and 8 were all kind of like linked together in my memory. So,
but 8 was fantastic.
But 8 was really good. So there's a chance that it could go in either direction for me.
Yeah, for Mega Man and Base. I don't know. I've not
not having
played it. I've just seen
Zojushin is killing me.
Oh yeah, you've probably got used to all those other skills though.
Just being able to do the air spinny is like so valuable.
It's so funny to me because when you first got the air spinny move, you were like, "Oh, it doesn't move like the other games," and then it's like, it seems like off screen you figured out the value of that very fact.
Well, yeah, but only in certain contexts. I mean, I still prefer if I could like jump with it.
But you just turned Zero into a pizza cutter. It's great.
Yeah.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Kept you waiting, huh?
I was just gonna do the same thing. This game is so Metal Gear coded. How do we not see it?
Oh, I think we did. But yeah, I do respect the series with not doing the obvious of having Sigma be the main bad guy or whatever. And I think that is another thing that sort of leads into the fact that in the Zero series, more often than not, you're fighting people who would otherwise be considered the good guys. Because in that one, you're Zero. So it just is sort of flipped on its head a little bit. Official release?
Yeah, Mega Man Base. Yeah, on GBA.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, that's how I played it.
Oh yeah, I guess next year you can also play the Saturn version of Mega Man 8.
You know, I actually experimented with that a little bit. It seems like it is exactly the same.
Yeah, it is. It literally just has different music in one area.
Yeah, I think the
only difference.
I think
But
the audio
never-
quality was a little worse on the Saturn version.
But you never got all the bullets, did you?
No, I did not. I did not fully
Perhaps
power
it'll be
up
a
or whatever.
similar experience of like of this one where you're like, oh wow, Mega Man's really powerful. In this.
I had
That's
plenty
crazy.
of fun with Mega Man 8 on my own playthrough as I did it. Like,
Yeah,
I
sure.
didn't need to have everything unlocked to have a good time with that game.
Yeah. I mean, some of the older games, it's like you literally just need to have everything in order to like finish the game. I don't even venture to say like I can't imagine going through Mega Man X without at least a few of the power-ups or like the armors for X.
I mean, given the way that X plays, I can't imagine not wanting to make that game as easy as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was-
oh wow, everyone's favorite.
Which was like kind of the case like with this game as well, but the game but this game is totally playable on its own without having done that. I'm just bad at it. So being able to go through thanks. Being able to go through and actually like get that powered up and really like be kind of like, oh shit, this game has turned into a power fantasy. You know, I think it really works in this game's favor, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Like it is the most powered up you can pretty much get at all with X. I mean, other than Command Mission, which you're not playing, of course. I feel like the more that I say that, I don't know, is it working?
Sorry, I missed whatever the last thing you said was. Because if we were going to check out the navigators, it would cost 36,000
Oh, okay.
chips
Well,
to do
yeah,
that.
we're well. Goodbye. Then. Well,
That's
yeah,
a wrap
obviously that's not
on Mega
happening.
Man X8. That is.
Well, no extra episode there. That's definitely not
no,
happening.
We're definitely not doing that.
Unless there's a console command, you're not getting anywhere near that much. I mean, we can sit there and stand under that robot for 6 hours. But
yeah, there's plenty of topics we can talk about, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I think for now that's gonna close the door on X8. Hooray! Another game done.
Well,
wow.
Overall, what would you say was your experience with X8?
So I think my experience with X8 is that I still don't think there is much of a chance of me counting it among my favorites. But that said, I am glad that I stuck with it. Because I think I got, even if it wasn't like 100%, I definitely got over like some of like the kind of like the weirdnesses that were kind of tripping me up on like gameplay wise, like and honestly it's stuff that like happened like off stream, you know, when I was going through and grinding that stuff out and everything. I really figured out like actually how to control Axel and actually how to control Zero and how to properly navigate around the levels instead of like my typical don't stop for nothing play style, which this game kind of punishes. You know, so in doing that, I ended up enjoying the game a lot more because I was playing as someone who doesn't really believe in this as a concept. I was kind of playing it right, you know. I was
Crazy. It's not that it's not a concept. You can just you can not like to play a game correctly or like that there's a way sometimes to play games correctly, because frankly I feel the same way. And you know, it's a major thing that I sort of do with one of the main games that I play, to where there's always some kind of meta for specific characters that are used in specific ways. However, I just don't like to do that because I just like to do what I want to do. And so,
yeah,
you know, I 100% get the idea of like trying to play a Mega Man game like a Sonic game where you can just sit there and like bash your head against stuff.
Very much so.
And
yes.
kill it.
Yep.
But I mean, that's just not, those are not his capabilities.
Right.
So eventually you're going to have to figure out that the characters all control in a specific way.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I mean, you can operate as within that as you want or as you don't, but you know, the game's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And it's at some point.
And I think once I came to grips with that, I started having a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, even like this last, like I know that there was kind of like half facetious, half not. So about like it's only take like half an hour to get through it, you know. But honestly, I didn't really get tripped up in any of that we just played through, you know.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that had to do with just I knew the game better.
Yeah.
You know, like getting grabbed by Sigma as like a big, like huge, which like they do like this big crazy presentation of that grab move, and just knowing immediately to just like, oh, just swap to the other character, you'll get out of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, it would like, be funny
whereas if I had been
you just
like
lie in that and that it just kills you instantly. Yeah. That would be so funny. I don't even know what that does, really.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I like an earlier, less patient me playing this would have found out.
Yeah.
You know.
For sure.
So overall, though, I will say, like I had fun. Like I think I do think it is a good game. It is a better game than I thought it was going into it, for sure.
And I'm just saying, your standard was X7.
My standard was X7 for sure.
So it's just
my standard was specifically X4 going into X7.
Yeah.
You know, so
which is a big leap.
Which is a real leap.
It's a leap down, that's for sure. It's not a leap up.
Yeah.
But it's just like, obviously in my head, I couldn't stand by and watch one of my favorite games in the series be compared so closely to X7 just by association. So it's like, I don't know.
You had to come and defend its honor.
Of course.
No, and honestly, I'm glad you did. You know, one, because this has been extremely fun for me. But two, I always appreciate like that opportunity. I think there is whatever. I you know, I know that I get like loud and kind of bombastic on this channel and everything, but underneath all of that is somebody who just wants to have like new experiences and wants to be challenged on some of this stuff. And
yeah, of course,
to have, you know, to be able to have like someone very seriously be kind of like, this game is better than you give it credit for, and I will help you to understand that if that's what it takes.
I mean, I will say I probably didn't have to sit here and call with you to illustrate that, but honestly, it was way more fun than I did.
Yeah. It was way more fun for me too. If this was just me just playing this game on my own, and
then
with
you never would have gotten
and
the
with you
We
maybe
have
like
proof of
taunting
that.
me in chat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like I don't think I would have kept up with it. I think I would have given up on it, and probably would have like really doubled down on my position. It was like, this is bad. This is bad. I'm not having fun. You know, so having somebody to kind of like mediate that a little bit and keep me on slightly better behavior, I think is very useful. And I do appreciate it. Like I said, like this has been a lot of fun. Honestly, even just hanging out and fucking around is like is better than just like that. It's a much better experience than me just like sitting here by myself in silence getting angry at a video game.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I guess in my experience, I haven't really messed around so much with going back to specific games in the retro category, as this would be a part of course.
Totally.
It's interesting to think back to this because obviously the last time that I played this myself was a long time ago. I mean, I think I think I actually did stream this on my channel like maybe a year ago or something.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think I actually got through all of it because I just sort of, if I didn't beat it in one stream, then I probably wasn't going to do it. And I think I was just like testing it out to see. But I remember back when I was playing it, I was just so fascinated that there was so much other stuff that you could do. And it actually was coming off of playing X7 because, I mean, because of the way that games were back then, even if you knew that a game that you're playing was bad, you would stick with it because it was the game
That's
that
the
you
game.
had.
That's the game you had. Mhm.
Yeah. So it's like I went through all of X7.
I will say probably like 60% of the backlog is representative of that.
Yeah.
Of just like, this is just a game that I had, or this is a game that my friend brought over, or like this is just what we had to play.
And
This
it's just like
this is the game we rented for the weekend. That's why fucking RoboCop 2 on the NES is on the fucking backlog.
yeah.
And that game is absolute
Also,
dog
what's
shit.
the last game that you ever rented? Like, my goodness. Do you remember?
It probably would have been something for the
360?
360, I think.
Yep.
That would have been the latest that we would have rented something.
I remember specifically
what
which
it
game
was.
it was. I actually talked about it earlier. It was Devil May Cry 4.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I rented it for like a weekend. I played all the way up until like the final boss, and then I didn't beat the final boss, and so I still have to play that entire game again.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
there are
obviously
too many.
that's-
There are too many games on my list that are exactly that same story.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there are JRPGs that I've
Oh,
also given
God.
that treatment. So it's like
you're doomed.
Like there's just no
you
way.
are doomed to fail.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. But even okay, what's crazy is I did that with also Final Fantasy 13 and Lightning Returns. I never beat the final bosses of either of those games.
Yeah.
So
That's fine. I don't blame you
at
for
some
those.
point.
We've talked extensively about those games at this point.
It's I almost would feel like just like looking up the endings or something, but I don't know.
I mean, it would be a probably better way to experience.
Funny enough, I
those
think
games,
this is
maybe.
Oh wait, no, I did. Yeah, I did beat X8. For a second, I was thinking I didn't, but I don't know.
If you had just revealed that right now that you've actually never finished this game, I think we'd be done forever. I think I would.
Wait, no,
I would never
hold
be
on.
able to trust you again.
Hold on. I actually don't think I did.
That's impossible.
No, it is. Because you know what's crazy? I do not remember the cutscene after Lumine is beaten. I don't remember it. Like that whole sequence. I remember seeing the animated part, but I feel like I only saw it in like AMVs and stuff. And so maybe
So not
I
even
feel
in
like
its actual context have you seen it.
No. No, this is actually the first time that I've seen the X8 ending.
I want to thank Voleno for being along for the ride on this playthrough of Mega Man X8.
Yeah. As I think about it, genuinely, this is the first time I've seen anyone beat Lumine.
Thank you so much for everybody who swung by during any part of this. I know that there are a few folks from Voleno's community have been hanging out
see that
during
now,
these chats.
as I think about
So it means a lot for you guys to swing by this channel for some ridiculousness. Thank you so much, everybody. That brings this to a close, and I'm referring, of course, to my friendship with Voleno.
You know what's crazy?
Never felt so betrayed.
If you believe hard enough, you too can get friends to beat games for you and just watch, because you don't really feel like going through them again yourself. It's actually possible to do that.
Well, look forward to Voleno's playthrough of that weird RPG on the Super Nintendo that I'm not even convinced he has actually played anymore. I don't know what to believe anymore.
No, that one actually.
I never know. I never know what to believe.
Actually did. I did, because okay, I think I told you that It might have been off stream, but I beat the final boss of that in one hit.
You did
because
tell
I
me
grinded
that.
too
You
hard.
did tell me that you one-shotted that guy.
Yeah, I did. I one-shotted the final boss. It was amazing. But no, genuinely though, it would be a good joke to say that I hadn't seen X8's ending before. But genuinely, as I think about it, no, I never beat Lumine.
I
actually never beat Lumine.
I can't even process what's happening right now. I can't. You called yourself an authority on this game. The whole point. Whatever. That's gonna do it for us here today. As
I'm
always,
lying. I played Lair. I'm lying. I played Lair. Context clues
I
here.
am so.
I got to the new game plus and I played
so
Lair.
happy
Of course
to
I
have had
beat.
Voleno on there. There's his
Of
deets.
course I beat X8.
Go send him a follow if you want to do that. I don't know why you would. We're
can't think of a
gonna
reason.
we're gonna get out of here.
For the second part where we play Draken, the hit game from
Yep.
the Draken series, Draken.
Yep. Yeah, so look forward to that. We'll figure that out. We'll schedule that sometime. I don't know, maybe in a year when I've recovered from this. Thanks so
I know it was a double cross, but it's so funny because I think what actually happened is I skipped the cutscene by accident.
Yeah.
Or something. Or like what would have happened? Because I know
Whatever.
that I played Lair. I know
Whatever.
100%
Your
that I
story
played
is
Lair.
all over the place, and I don't care where it ends.
Because there's also a Sigma hammer that you get at the end. That's the last zero weapon.
Great. That sounds
you're not
awesome.
going to get that?
No.
You're not going to fire that up
No.
now? And
No.
Get that?
In fact, I'm deleting this game off of my hard drive after this.
You know you're not.
That's gonna do it for us.
You're gonna leave the option open for some reason. Still have that on there as if you're gonna do anything.
Desperately trying to end stream. I'm just trying to.
Oh, you're raiding.
Summer Games Done Quick is happening right now. So
Yeah,
I'm just
okay.
gonna kick everything over to there. So go support some charity. Go do some good in the world. Don't be an awful villain. And lie to your
What
friends.
do you mean? Don't look at me like that.
Enjoy yourselves. I'm taking tomorrow off. I say I'm taking tomorrow off. I'm not actually taking tomorrow off. I have shit going on tomorrow. So
Yeah.
no stream tomorrow. I might be back on Sunday. I'll see how I'm feeling after tomorrow. But next stream, probably gonna be starting a playthrough of Alan Wake. Is probably gonna be the next thing on the backlog list. The next long play game. So look forward to that. Voleno, do you have God, this is a bad idea. Do you have anything you would like to say to the people before we get out of here?
Enjoy your sleep through Alan Wake, honestly. That's gonna be a real snoozer.
Thanks for really hyping up my stream.
That's gonna be freaking boring.
You're such an asshole.
Insane. Never would pick that one. Honestly.
Absolutely the worst person I know. That's it for us. Have a good one, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Adios.